So very good morning to all students.
Good
Good
morning,
morning,
sir.
sir.
Yeah. So
Good
I
morning,
hope,
sir.
yeah, good morning. I hope I'm audible to all.
Morning,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what I think I have covered the first unit, and even you are also doing excellent job to like uh, seen all completing your assignments, quiz, working with Canvas. That is a new, you can say, platform and everything. I will not say one thing. Everything you are doing all well. Okay. So let us move to the next unit, which is unit 3, which is multiple linear regression model. And before I'll start this unit, I hope the unit 2, which is based on simple linear regression model, you have already done. And assuming that you have all basic knowledge and basic conceptual thing like all notations and everything, you are knowing very well, and with the help of that we can proceed with the multiple linear regression model. Let me know one thing also. If I start the session in between, you may not comfortable with some notation which is used in the SLR. We can call SLR is a simple linear regression model. Okay, so in that model, if you are not use that particular notation, then let me know here also, so that I can explain in better way. Okay, so MLR is a multiple linear regression model. SLR is your simple linear regression model. Okay, so based on some means always we say simple linear regression model. You can go with the SLR. You can go with the MLR. Okay, so sometime I'm going to use the this you can say terms also MLR, SLR. Okay, so you can just comfortable with that notations. So let us begin. Uh, so if you see the topic, it's a multiple linear regression model. So multiple regression model, what are the things we are going to discuss if possible? Introduction to MLR, then we'll do little bit examples based on that and some applications how these MLR useful in real life situations and how you can manage the error and some terms, because I'm taking very small things in MLR because I'm assuming that all conceptual knowledge under SLR you have already considered, and Jay sir has nicely explained everything very broadly, very like conceptually, very deeply. Everything is explained by the Jay sir. Okay, so even after like maybe talking about R square at this R square, that is all done in your SLR very conceptually, and I hope you are all clear with that concept. Okay, but in case if you need, then let me know. Then we will discuss linear regression model with two explanatory variables. Then model setup of MLR means multiple linear regression model. Then assumption of MLR, and then we have a estimation of parameter of MLR. Okay, this is the few things which I have written here. Maybe some part is remaining that we can discuss in the next PPT. So if I start with the introduction, you are all familiar with all MLR. So whenever we have a variable, we know so far we are dealing with one dependent variable, not more than one dependent. So dependent means you have a one dependent variable and more than one independent variable. So more than one independent variable, then we're talking about multiple linear regression model. Okay, and this independent variable is also known as explanatory variable. So make sure that you should know these terms. Okay, sometimes they called regress, sometimes they called regressor. Okay, so this is also some dependent and independent word I can say. So instead of in the explanatory, they will say regressor. Okay, so you should know the at least sometime meaning of that regressor. So when it is regressor, when it is regress. Okay, so that term you can always go with. So what is a multiple linear regression model? When we study a variable in single variable, a variable means you have a single variable, remember, depends on more than one explanatory variable or independent variables, it is called multiple linear regression model. Understand, it's very simple statement. Okay. Now if you see, if I'm saying more than one, it can be two, it can be three, it can be four, and it can be, you can call k. So whenever I say k, it assume multiple linear regression model. But if it is not k, if it is, let's say k is replaced by 2, then the model become changed with the regression linear regression model with two explanative variable. If your k is replaced by 3, then it is known as linear regression model with 3 explanatory variables. So that is all basics which is not included in the slide, but you can understand whenever the questions can be like little bit here and there. If you change the number, it's entire thing, the whole thing will be changed, because we are all statistician, everything will be going to change if the number is going to be changed. So let us move a little bit notations now. Well, let y denotes the dependent variable, and it is also known as sometimes study variable. Okay, so ऐसा जरूरी नहीं कि dependent variable ही बोले आप. This is also known as study variable because we want to study on y. Okay, we want to study on y with the help of x variables. Okay, so let y denotes the dependent variable, in bracket we can call study variable, that is linearly related to k independent or explanatory variables x1, x2, xk through the parameter beta naught, beta 1, beta 2, beta k. So if I am saying this statement, this is very simple to say. This is very simple to interpret that the variable, the dependent variable is always linearly. You can understand this term linearly, because why I'm saying, why I'm putting the this thing like linearly, because if we have a relation, if we have a relation different from linearly, then your simple linear model fails. If your dependent variable is not linearly related with these variables, so your MLR will be failed, your SLR will be failed. Means you cannot fit the linear model. You can fit multiple quadratic, maybe you can maybe you have studied in FIBSC exponential model, you can have fit algebraic model, okay, exponential, logarithm. So but linearly will be not there, the term linear will be not there. And if the term linear is not there, then you cannot use the property of linear concepts like it is unbiased, it is consistent, and so on. Okay, so that is a very very important thing, can go with that. Then what is the model now? So what model says, so this is the model, and we write the model y is equal to beta naught plus beta 1, we can call x1 beta 1, x2 beta 2, and so on, xk beta k. Sometimes they will write beta 1 x1, beta 2 x2, beta k xk. All the way it works. Okay, don't get confused between writing, because if you write 1 into 2 is equal to 2 or 2 into 1 is equal to 1, okay, in some of the nodes you'll find this, in some of the nodes you find that. But don't get confused between the things. Okay, that's very simple, it is understood to everyone. Now this is called as multiple linear regression model, MLR, and beta naught, beta 1, beta k, you are knowing all this term. Okay, what this is all regression coefficients associated with x1, x2, xk. Okay, now this beta naught will be not associated, this beta naught is not, because it is intercept value. Okay, just understand this is intercept value, but here still I have mentioned all regression coefficients. Okay, I have included everything, but if you just talking about SLR, in that terminology your beta naught is your intercept value, and all betas become your slope. Okay, but in this scenario we can call directly this is all linear regression coefficients. Okay, just understand few terms. And this error term, which is sometime use e, because I don't have the notation c, so I can use epsilon. Okay, so that can be vary always. Okay, that can, because it is error. Okay, in some of the book you'll find e, some of the book you find u, some of the book you can find epsilon. Okay, so don't get confused, because it is all matter of using notations. Okay, and epsilon is a random, but what is representing, that is important. Okay, so see, it is not like that. If I'm using x is a random variable which is follows uniform, so I can use, instead of x I can use z, I can use z also. Z follows uniform. So it is a matter of using the notation, but what is following, it is uniform. So that is important. X, Y, Z, it can be random, it can be changed. So epsilon is a random error component reflecting the difference between observed value and fitted linear relation. I think you are knowing this. So if I ask you how to compute, you can call error term. You take a difference of observed value and fitted value, right? You अगर मैं आपके टर्म में बोलूँगा तो it is a notation बोलूँगा तो it is y minus y hat, right? Am I right or wrong? Anyone?
Yes.
Yeah. So this error term can be computed using the difference between observed and fitting linear relationship. So now there are some of the models. I think this is all sir has discussed very broadly, but I'm just taking the very in just taking the recap of that, you can call. So a model is said to be linear when it is linear in parameter. Always understand the conceptual thing. Maybe you will forget or maybe you remember, I don't know. But remember, when you call it is linear, when you call it is linear, when it is linear in parameter. Remember, अब इधर में x square लिखेगा, still it is linear. Still it is linear, but the students get confused sometime in my objective questions, or maybe I will going to introduce the MCQ questions based on this unit also. That is other thing, but you may understand the conceptual thing. Don't try to by heart. If I'm saying now my model is like this, my model is y is equal to, let's say, beta naught plus x1 square beta 1. This is also a linear model. This is also a linear model. Why it is linear model? Because it is in order 1. You can say power is 1 here. You can say power is 1 here. But you get confused with this x1 square. No, this is also. So what is a linear? It is linear in parameters. Parameter क्या है आपका beta naught beta 1. That's why it is linear always. But if I am replaced by this is by 2, then it is not linear. Okay, so that just understand the conceptual thing, that is very important. Then if I'm using another model, let's y is equal to beta 1 x power to beta 2. Okay, is that linear model or not? So let us understand the linear model. This can be written as, if you take log both the sides, so log of y log of beta 1 plus beta 2 x. But if I replace this quantity y will be y star and this quantity will be beta 1 star and this quantity will be your x. But this is the form of linear. Can you understand? This is the form of, so which is again linear in parameter beta 1 star beta, but non-linear in the variable is this. So here we don't have your variable is a linear. Your variable is, see, this variable is actually some other function. So it is some other function, but your parameter is in linear. That's why this is a linear. This is a linear model. So sometime if I ask you this is my objective question. Is this model is simple linear model? 4 option is given. Okay. So about identify, as the question is like this. Which of the following is a simple linear model? तो उसमें ऑप्शन में बहुत सारा ऑप्शन रहेगा, लेकिन ये ऑप्शन आपको आएगा. तो you need to understand कि ये मॉडल सिंपल लीनियर है कि नहीं है. तो don't get confused. You can do certain transformation and then you can able to understand whether it is in maybe it is in simple linear model or it is not. Okay, so just take care of that everything.
एक्सक्यूज मी सर.
Yeah.
सर अगर मैंने यहाँ पर प्लस बीटा 2 एक्स रेस टू बीटा 3 कर दिया तब तो ये सर नॉन लीनियर हो जाएगा ना?
Sorry, beta 2.
सर जो ये है ना सर y इक्वल टू बीटा 1 एक्स रेस टू बीटा 2
हाँ
प्लस बीटा 3 एक्स रेस टू बीटा 4, अगर ऐसा कुछ टाइप का रह गया तो सर
हाँ.
आप लॉग लगाओगे तब क्या होगा? तब तो नहीं होगा.
Yes, definitely नहीं होगा, definitely नहीं होगा. We have the model, the model you're talking about. We have exactly the. I think next will be that is model that we are talking about. Okay, don't worry. We will come to that point also. I
Okay.
think you're talking about this one, right? Maybe later on we'll get so many models. So I've included all the models. Don't worry. See, now my next model is I have y is equal to beta naught, beta 1, beta naught, beta 1x, beta, sorry, y is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2x plus beta 3x square. So all coefficients in linear, that's why it is linear. But you can see this x square is not linear. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter whether your x is linear or not, because when you call it is linear in parameter, when it is linear in parameter, then it is linear. Understand the conception. Now let us move to the next example. Y is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 x minus beta 3. Is that linear? Even if you take log, it is not possible to represent in a form of linear. That's why it is non-linear. Are you getting my point here? Even if you take log here, it is not possible to represent in the form of simple linear. That's why it is a not linear. What about next one? Y is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 x raised to beta 3. Take log here and see. So it is log of y, log of beta 1. Now beta 2, see, understand. Now this is in log. So log beta 2 पहले आएगा plus log of beta 3, sorry, beta 3 log of x. Beta 3 log of x. So is that linear? You can understand here, log linear in parameter as well as variable. तो आपका जो बीटा है वो log के टर्म में है, it is not a linear. Are you getting my point? Understood this question? If you take log, तो क्या log लेंगे तो क्या मिलेगा आपको यहाँ पे इसका? What could be this value? So this is log of y is equal to log of beta 1. But you can say, you can understand, this is the log. This is the log. Okay. So this is in a log coefficient. Your beta is the parameter which you consider, it is in logarithm. That's why it is not linear. Okay. And even if you just go ahead with that plus something, it is also in a form of linear. It is also in a form of logarithm in parameter. That's what is mentioned. Na? Log linear, non-linear in parameter, and both variables. Means variable is also in the non-linear as well as your parameter is also non-linear. Then we have next one. Then we have a here cubic model. Can you see? Beta 1, beta 2 x, beta 3 x square, beta. So again it is in a form of linear, because your beta 1, beta 2, beta 3, they are free from, like they don't have any power. So that's why it is a simple linear model. But we have a four, you can say, you can call
Four parameters.
sorry, four regression coefficients. Okay, you can call four regression coefficients. Okay, let us discuss. I think this example you have already seen. Okay, this example you have already seen, but how this model can be used. So I'm just taking the very short. If you have done this example, that's okay. The now we are considering two variable. One will be the income, and other will be the education. Very well relation you are knowing. Okay, so I have two data of income and education. So if I have the two equation, two variable, what will be my next step? Can anyone tell me what will be my next step? What I am going to do with this? I want to perform a regression model. What is my next step? Anyone? No? So when we have a two variable, we do not go directly with the uh, creating a model. We have to check few assumptions, we have to check few conditions. Okay, so what we have to do here, whenever we have a two variable, we have to always first perform some basic, you can say basic assumption, whether the basic assumption is fulfilling or not. So like we can say, you can draw the histogram, you can draw the scatter diagram. So in scatter diagram, you'll find whether the relationship between income and educations, whether it is a linearly or quadratic and so on. Okay, that is the preliminary things you should always go with that. So whenever you have a variable and you're performing regression, the first task is that you can go for scatter plot. You can go for scatter plot. And if you find the equation or the variable which are linearly related, then you can go for the linear. Otherwise, don't go with the linear. You can go with the quadratic. You can go with the exponential. Okay, because I have found that I have seen the many researcher the variable is even not linearly related, but still they are performing the SLR, because that is wrong. That is absolutely wrong. You need to do certain transformation, like you can do log, you can take exponential, you can take inverse. That all transformation is very useful, but it is not very easy to interpret. Using the transformation is very simple, but the interpreting that transformation is very difficult, because even I will say, if you refer different books also, they have not mentioned clearly. So you have to just understand, and based on the SLR only you have to conclude the results. That is the very important. So whenever we have two variable, always check first scatter plot and then go with the linear regression model. So on an average, I will say, whenever if I have two variable, I have to define dependent and independent. दो वेरिएबल मुझे डिस्टिंग्विश करना पड़ता है कौन किसके ऊपर डिपेंडेंट है. ओके, so I hope the income will be depend on the education. तो अगर एजुकेशन ज़्यादा रहेगा तो इनकम ज़्यादा मिलेगा, मतलब ऐसा लोगों का मानना है. मतलब इफ यू आर एजुकेटेड देन ओनली यू कैन अर्न मनी, राइट? that is the basically. So means you can go with that. Okay, but if I'm saying just think of reverse way. Education is depend on income. Education is depends on income. Okay, if you have a time, you just perform this data. Means you take some random educations, you can take some random income which is absolutely linearly, and instead of fitting this model, you fit reverse model. Education will be dependent on income. So if my income is goes on decreasing, my education is goes on decreasing or increasing, that you have to find out. Okay, so I'm just doing the reverse way. I'm just exactly doing the reverse way. Okay, see, sometimes it is doesn't affect. Even the people is PhD, but they don't have any income. You can say like this also. Okay, because we have seen now situations. Even the person is graduate, but still he is doing all clerical work. He is doing all like driver everything. So one can say the education and income is somewhere, it is like some you can say partially relation. You cannot say the it is a perfect model. It is a perfect model. Okay, so one can create this model like income is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 education plus epsilon. Because why this is epsilon? Because this epsilon represents somewhere there is some problem with the income and education. Okay, so that's why they have adjusted this epsilon. And you know what is the beta 1 beta 2. Okay, so beta 2 reflects in the income with respect to change in education. So if I change in education some unit, maybe let's say unit 1, so unit 1 according to the income will be the change. Okay, and beta 1 it's represent your initial income, you can call it is. The beta 1 is represent your initial income. When your education is 0, then your income is basically beta 1. See, abhi don't get confused between your intercept and beta 1. अभी sometime I will use here beta naught also. तो beta naught आपका intercept है. मतलब अगर केवल रिग्रेशन कोएफिशिएंट आपके पिक्चर में दिख रहा है, तो वो आपका रिग्रेशन कोएफिशिएंट है. नोटेशंस आप कुछ भी रहने दो, whether it is beta 1 beta 2 beta 3, it's a intercept. It's a intercept. What is intercept? If my rest variable is going to 0, then my income is equal to that value. That's why it is intercept, because your income start from that particular point. That's because it is intercepting that the line which you have drawing starting from that point only. That's why it is intercept. So that is regarding your income. But some, maybe the some of them is not agree with this model. Okay, some students, or maybe the some you can say the regression who is performing the regression models, they are not agree with this model. What they are saying, the most people saying, the most people saying this neglect the model. Most people have higher income when they are older than when they are young. Are you getting my point? So even if you are young, you have a higher income. So this model fails. This model is fails. See what I'm trying to interpret. What I'm trying. If you have done PhD and you have joined any let's say any institute or any company, you have a higher income even if you young, even if you young. So it is regardless of education. It is regardless of education. So it is a partially impact. It is not. It is not totally impact. It is a partially. You say marginal distribution, na? जॉइंट इफेक्ट नहीं है, मार्जिनल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन से मार्जिनल इफेक्ट पड़ रहा है अपने वेरिएबल का. तो यहाँ पे वी विल इंट्रोड्यूस वन मोर वेरिएबल विच इज कॉल्ड एज. So now age and education are positively correlated. So this is the way you have to create a model. Okay, so you introduce one more variable which is age. So if you introduce in age, what is my going to be model? Okay, what is my going to be model? So if I introduce the age in my model, now my model become this one. Income is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 educations plus beta 3 age. So now you can see the age is my new variable which is introduced in the model. Okay, now you can observe that income tend to be rise less rapidly in the later in earning year than in early. Means now this model is even your earning, okay, earning at the older age and earning in the initial age is approximately same. Is approx. That means introducing the age variable will now overall model is going to be perfect. But you can extend also. If I'm just using the maybe the other model like beta 1 beta 2 education plus beta 3 age plus beta 4 age square, beta 4 age square. So is this model is perfect now? What you have to do? This is the way you can proceed in the real life situation. तो ऐसा नहीं कि दो वेरिएबल देखा चलो लीनियर फिट करते नहीं. You can go with that, but there is certain conditions. You have to check their R square value. You have to check their R square value. Okay, we have to check their adjacent R square value. You have to perform, you can say, what do you call it, ANOVA test. That the whole things you have to do it all carefully. Okay, see all assumptions, everything you have to do it in that fashion. Okay, that is a very important concept. We can go with that. So now we will discuss here uh, linear regression model with two explanatory variables. Linear regression model with two explanatory variables. So let us begin now one dependent and two independent variable first. So because we are talking about MLR with two explanatory variables. Okay. So I'm not going to directly multiple linear regression model. It is simply your LRM, means linear regression model with two explanatory variables. So this is the model. Y is equal to beta naught x1 beta 1 or beta 1 x1 beta 2 x2. This is x2 plus epsilon. Okay, so just we can make this correction. This is x2. Okay, so let us discuss first this model, and then we can go with the next part of that multiple linear regression model. Okay, so far any difficulties there in any point where you have not understood? Yes, anyone?
सर
Yeah.
सर अगर एक्सप्लेनेटरी वेरिएबल डिपेंडेंट हुआ तब
एक्सप्लेनेटरी वेरिएबल
x1 x2
नहीं, x1 x2 तो आपका वेरिएबल है जो लीनियरली डिपेंडेंट होना चाहिए एक्सप्लेनेटरी वेरिएबल के ऊपर ही. मतलब बीटा वन और यू कैन से x1 x2 दे हैव टू बी कोरिलेटेड. They have to be correlated, then only you can take this variable on left hand side, sorry right hand side. मतलब यहाँ पे आप उसको ले सकते हो, अदरवाइज यू कांट टेक. बिकॉज अगर मैंने एज ले लिया, सपोज एज मैंने ले लिया और मैंने स्कैटर प्लॉट बनाया जिसमें मेरा रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन x1 x2 कुछ रिलेशन ही नहीं है. आर यू गेटिंग माई पॉइंट? अगर मेरा रिलेशन ही नहीं है x1 x2 में तो मैं x2 को इंट्रोड्यूस कर ही नहीं सकता हूँ, बिकॉज मेरा आर स्क्वायर ऑटोमेटिक कम आ जाएगा. मतलब मेरा पहले अगर ये मॉडल लेता हूँ उससे मेरा आर स्क्वायर 46% आता है, लेकिन जब मैंने x2 डाल दिया तो मेरा आर स्क्वायर 36% हो गया. तो इंट्रोड्यूसिंग दैट वेरिएबल इज नॉट सिग्निफिकेंट, मींस इट इज नॉट यूजफुल, मींस x2 को रिमूव करना पड़ेगा. why it is not significant? Because you have not checked the relationship between x1 and x2. See, हम लोग ने assumption पढ़ा है ना, your all explanatory variables should be correlated, something like that. Maybe we are going to start, I'm just going to take the recap of that also. Maybe in the multiple linear regression model we have that all assumptions. Okay, any other question? Yes, anyone? Sir, how can x1 x2 correlated? You can check the data of x1, you can check the data of x2, okay, and you try to find out the correlation between x1 and x2. Why these variables is called as independent variable? Because it is not depending on, see, your y's depend on x1, y's depend on x2, okay, but you have studied what you have studied. You have studied the uh, ANOVA, where you have checked, I think you have not studied the ANOVA for two models, okay, because in ANOVA first you have to check for overall model. If the overall model is significant, then only you can go for the individual model, otherwise it is not possible to go for directly individual. Okay, so to check whether x1 x2 correlated hai ki nahi hai, you need to just perform the uh, your correlation technique. You can easily get that things. Even I have mentioned here, I think in this some of the slide I have you can see here. Somewhere here I have just seen. See, your age and education are positively correlated. Means it is, there has to be some correlation. Means whenever I am introducing the new explanatory variable, the relationship between explanatory variables should be strong. Then only you can fit your model. Otherwise, if you just introduce and your R square value changed, then it has like no meaning. Okay, so even we will see in the practical session how this, so you can take the model and you can go with that. I hope I have shared my screen of you can see the heading at the top, multiple linear regression model. Are you able to see the screen of this?
Yes,
yes
sir.
sir
So now this is a very I can say difficult for me to like writing all equations and everything in the PPT, because it's quite difficult. It's quite difficult. I can say it's very difficult. Okay. So what I have thought, let me introduce something in the PPT, and then writing part will be there always in the notepad. So make sure that I'm going to use the both the things. Whenever there is theory part, we can go with PPT. Whenever there is a derivation and everything, we can go with the now this PPT is, I think, not available with you. So very soon I'm going to, I think, frankly speaking, I have not never touched the canvas. Maybe the last 1 or 1.5 week, because we have a like now FI started, and all paper studying everything is going on. So that's why I cannot able to like update the canvas. But very soon I'm going to upload that this PPT, as well as the, you can say, photocopy of this multiple linear regression model. But this is uploading the multiple linear regression model is little bit difficult for me because I have to just complete this unit, complete this you can say particular task first, and then I will upload it. Okay. So by the time if you are writing the notes, you can take down the notes. That is very important. Okay, that's very important. So let us start now. So I'm talking about here okay. So we have a here a regression equation. Means I'm talking about the not multiple regression. This is not title. My title. Means under this unit, this is your unit 3. Under this unit, I'm talking about here the linear regression model with two explanatory variables. Two explanatory variables. Okay. Okay. So what will be your model now? So if we have a regression equation with two explanatory variables, you can called x1 and x2 is given by what will be a model? yi is equal to, let me know if this change in some notations, so I will work according to that notation. Beta 1 x I can call x I1 plus beta 2 x 2I plus I can call it ei, where I takes value 1, 2 and so on. Now sometimes this ei will be written as ui. Okay, it doesn't matter. Have you studied the same model like this in the simple linear regression model?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you take expectation both the side, taking expectation on both the side, what you will get it here? yi hat is equal to beta naught hat beta 1 hat, because you are taking the expectation, plus beta 2 x2I hat, and this because we are knowing assumption expected value of ei is going to be 0, so that is going to be 0. So if I take ei now, what is my ei? Ei is going to be, it is the difference of yi minus yi,
Y hat.
correct, yi hat. So what is going to be changed now? We have yi here, we have yi hat here. Okay. So now, so this yi minus, take the difference of this one. So this is beta naught hat minus beta 1 hat x1I minus beta 2 hat x2I. Is that clear till here? Any difficulty till here? Because this is all basic things which you have already gone through, right? So I do.
Yes, sir.
So I can understand it is very simple for you, for in this scenario. Take other because it is not looking very light. Take another pen. Okay. So now here you can see this beta naught, beta 1, beta 2, they are obtained using the method of least square. Maybe you are knowing this, right? Here beta naught hat, beta 1 hat and beta 2 hat are obtained using method of least square. Which are called ordinary least square. Maybe you are knowing the term is ordinary least squares estimator. You can call it is OLS. So OLS is the ordinary least square estimator. That is beta 1 hat, beta 2 hat and beta naught hat, beta 1 hat, beta 2 hat are obtained by minimizing, maybe you are knowing the term, minimizing error sum of square. Error sum of squares. So what is that error sum of square? You can call some notation, let's say E is equal to, it's a summation of EI square, right? So to obtain beta 1, beta 2, beta naught, beta 1, beta 2, because we are using OLS, we have to minimize the error sum of square, ESS, error sum of square, okay? So what is that now? You know EI. What is EI? EI is written here. This is your EI, right? Just write down EI is what here. Summation yi minus beta naught hat minus beta 1 hat minus xi1 x1i minus beta 2 x2i, everywhere hat is there. Okay, so here you can see there is a beta 1, beta 2, beta naught, beta 1, beta 2. We need to solve and get the, after this you, or I think if you just see in your SLR, you can understand what we have to do.
Derivative.
Yes, so you need to take derivative of what?
EI.
EI. Now we have a three regression, right? Three coefficients, beta naught, beta 1, beta 2. So therefore beta naught, beta 1, beta 2 are obtained. Therefore beta naught hat, beta 1 hat and beta 2 hat are obtained by solving partial derivative of your E with respect to regression, that is your intercept, equated to 0, partial derivative of with respect to beta 1 equated to 0, and partial derivative of E with respect to beta 2 hat equated to 0. So we know in SLR, we know when we take partial derivative with respect to that parameter, equated with 0, I will get some equation, right? I hope you have used the same technique here. Nothing,
Yes, sir.
yeah, nothing is new. And if possible, you can able to write down also on the notebook, because I am writing very slow, so you can able to write it down, because some of the steps I'm not going to write it down. Okay, so which you have to just understand and how it works. So we'll take the one by one and we can proceed with that. So if I take partial derivative of e with respect to beta naught equating with 0, this implies that if we take derivative of this portion, okay, what will be derivative? Anyone? It is 2 times summation yi minus beta naught hat minus beta 1 hat x1i minus beta 2 hat x2i, right? Because it is something like x raised to n. So if it is x raised to n, what will be derivative here? It is going to be n x raised to n minus 1. So it is 2 minus 1, right? And again derivative of beta naught. So beta naught
Minus 1.
minus. So it is minus 1 and we are equating with 0. So if you equate with 0, what will be output? So minus 2 goes there, it's become like negligible. Then if you take summation, then what will be that? Summation of yi is equal to summation of beta naught plus beta 1 x1i plus beta 2 x2i. What I did here, I have kept this summation of y will be left hand side and rest will be the right hand side. Okay. Now what will be this quantity? You are putting I is running from 1 to n. I is running from 1 to n. So constant with summation, it is going to be what? N time beta naught hat, right?
Yes, yes.
Beta 1 hat summation of x1i plus beta 2 hat summation x2i. Any difficulties so far here in this equation? I hope it is all very simple and nothing right very something new. Okay. Now you divide throughout by n. So what will be result now? Summation of yi upon n is equal to beta naught hat plus beta 1 hat
X1I bar.
x1. No, no. Because x1 I divide by n. Don't take it bar in terms of bar, because it is not simple variable. It is not your simple variable. It is not like x1. Plus beta 2 at summation x2i upon n. Okay. And then we have here, because we have equated with directly 0, so can I obtain the beta 1 from here now? So beta naught hat is equal to summation yi summation yi upon n minus beta 1 hat summation x1i upon n plus beta 2 hat summation x2i upon n, because everything I have taken the left hand side. This is the minus. Okay, this is the minus. Because beta naught I kept it here only and I put everything will be the right hand side or left hand side, whatever you want. Then therefore beta naught hat is equal to y bar. this is y bar minus beta 1 hat x1 bar minus beta 2 hat x2 bar. So see, this x1 bar is the entire thing, where you can write this x bar is this, okay, where you can write where x1 will be given and x2 will be given. Okay. So you can call this equation is 1. Okay. Now in this way you need to obtain sorry, expected value, sorry, derivative of e with respect to beta 1 and equate with 0, you will get some answer. Okay, have you understood this first with respect to beta naught, or anyone having difficulty in the taking expectation with respect to beta naught? Anyone let me know. No difficulty. Okay, let's proceed. So let me take just finish this beta 1 and then we can stop, no problem. Because if I do it beta 1, you try for beta 2 and tell me result next time. Okay. So if you take now we have to just imagine what is beta 1. If I take with respect to beta 1, what could be the derivative? Okay. So can anyone tell me what could be the derivative, or instead of asking anyone, I will ask maybe the someone who can maybe give the answer for my question. Okay. Mehul Vedya is there? Mehul is there? Mehul is there? Or he left the platform? Mehul, can you hear me? Achha, Mehul is not there. Pankaj Singh is there? Pankaj Singh?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me the derivative of your beta 1 with respect to beta 1? मेरे पास ये इक्वेशन है,
हम्म
तो बीटा 1
सर
डेरिवेटिव
सर उसको डेरिवेट करेंगे ना तो बीटा 1 के आगे -1 है ना, तो -1 का टर्म आएगा और -2 आएगा,
ओके. सो
और जैसा ऊपर
-2
का
टाइम समेशन
हम्म
yi माइनस बीटा नॉट हैट बीटा 1 हैट x1i minus beta 2 hat x2i into what?
इक्वल टू 0.
Into x1i equal to 0, right? Absolutely correct. So here we need to take the derivative of again beta 1. So beta 1
यस
का
सर.
derivative क्या होगा? Minus x1i. तो minus यहाँ पे आ गया और x1i यहाँ पे आ गया. Very good, very good, excellent. Then we have here, then again you have to do it. What you have to do here, you need to solve it this, and write in terms of yi xi. So if you just solve it this, -2 goes away because you can understand. So what will be this one? Summation yi x1i. See what I'm doing? So I'm multiplying this each term with this term everywhere, right? Minus, or I will take directly this, that will be left hand side. मतलब आप इधर एक step लिखो, write down one step here, one more step here. Okay, more step to be right. So I'm just writing here, more step to be right. So and then after multiplying, you will come up with this equation. So beta naught hat summation, because it is summation. Okay, so it is going to be better to write it down because I don't know whether how many can understand. So if you just do the multiplication here, so what will be the results here now? This is going to be minus beta naught x1I minus beta 2, sorry, beta 1 x1I square minus beta 2 x2I x1I. Whole thing, and it will be there everywhere equated to 0. Now you take this term will be left hand side. So this is summation yi xi x1I equate with, take everything will be right hand side. So if I take summation here, so beta naught hat summation x1 1I plus beta 1 hat summation x1I square plus beta 2 hat summation x1I x2I. Is that clear to all? First let me know, but the step which I am skipping I have written here. Say this is 2. Is that clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So can we write directly? I hope you are, but whenever you are writing in notes, you write it down properly. Can we write directly instead of, because we have taken respect to x beta 1, can we write directly for x2? तो क्या आएगा? Summation yi x2I equal to beta naught hat summation x2I plus beta 1 summation x. Tell me, what could be that? X
X2I. X2I square.
x2I square. How?
No,
X-
sir.
X2
X1I into X2I.
X2I.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. And here it will come to
X2I square.
because बीटा 1 में आपको x1 है और बीटा 2 में आपको x2 है, तो x2 का आप जब x2 से मल्टीप्लाई करें, सी इट इज वेरी सिंपल, आपको इधर ही चेंज करना है. इधर क्या करना है आपको, ये फिर से ये स्टेप फिर से यहाँ पे कॉपी करो. यहाँ पे क्या है, यहाँ पे x, जहाँ पे x1i है वहां पे लिखना है x2i. दैट्स इट. गेट माय पॉइंट? So I hope everyone can able to solve this, and based on that you can able to get this you can say third result, which is very important, and you can just work out this result and then let me know whether how many can able to do it. Okay, so this is, you can call number 3. Let me just check whether if anyone having any questions here. Otherwise this derivation is very lengthy, so we can do it in the next session. Do you have lecture right now? Maybe next lecture नहीं है किसी का ना?
No.
Okay, don't worry, I'm not going to take. Okay, so any question is there related to like from where we have started? So we have started with this model, like yi beta naught plus beta 1 x I1 or plus beta 2 x I2, and we have EI or UI, and then we have taken expectation both the side, just put the hat and E will be 0. Then take the difference between observed value and expected value, fitted value, so we'll get this equation. So this is the very important. अगर इधर आपने गड़बड़ कर दिया, the whole thing is going to be wrong. Okay, then you need to obtain, because you are knowing there are 3 estimator, beta naught, beta 1, beta 2. So you have to differentiate, because I am using OLS. Okay, so you have to differentiate and equate it with 0. So if we equate with first 0, we'll get some result. If we equate with beta 1, we'll get some result. Maybe write in terms of yi x1, similarly yi x2. Okay, now you take down this entire thing, okay, in your notes. See, this expression is given directly, but don't write directly. You can execute at least 2 steps. I can introduce here for 3-4 steps again here, but once you understand, you can remove those steps because that is unnecessary, taking time and space. Okay, so we will stop here, and you will see in the next session what we can do else. So any question is there? No. Okay. So I hope you are आप लोग का practicals का link मैंने sorry डाला नहीं है. Okay. So you be ready with your practicals. Maybe today or tomorrow I will going to give the link for submitting your practicals below your data. So below your canvas, there are 3 folders below the data. It's a link for the practicals. Will be displayed very soon, and you can upload your practicals. No problem. Okay. So no question is there. Okay. So see you on next lecture, and be safe, be home, and start studying, because maybe your paper is not going to be theory, maybe it is going to be the all MCQ type question, but even if it is, you have to work seriously for MCQ. Okay,
Yes, sir.
yeah, but I hope you are enjoying that all MCQ, because it is now we are familiar with. ऐसा नहीं कि कुछ नया आप एग्जाम भी देंगे तो ऐसा कुछ नया नहीं रहेगा, हाँ ऐसा कभी प्रॉब्लम देखा नहीं है, because you are everybody is working on Canvas, so they already familiar with the MCQs and everything. Okay, so see you on the next class. Have a good luck.
Thank you, sir.